I apologize for that. Alright, this is what I think of this new Gorillaz album. So grab your popcorn, sit down, because this is going to be a very interesting one. I like this one. It's a very listenable and chill experience, and I really like the tropical vibes to it. I don't think it's the best song in the album, and Tsudi's vocals in this one are really good, like most of the songs. The lyrics are decent too, I guess. Yeah, I don't have many things to say about this track, other than it's alright. I mean, does it deserve the music video like other songs in the album? Well, no. But I think the music video is one of the best we have since Humans, so I'm fine with it. It's a decent opening, 7 out of 10. My god! The kicks and synth in this one are amazing. The verses in this one sound very upbeat while keeping a serious or a creepy tone to the track, at least for me. This sounds better than ever in this one since the tone of the track really fits his voice. They like builds up the epicness every time it's close to finishing the verse. Oh man, it sounds absolutely amazing. But one thing that they could done better is the way 2D says the last lyric in the verse, which is, "Do you dance like this forever?" They could easily fit in some more lyrics, so the song could be a little longer. And that's another problem. The song is slightly too short. It's just 2 minutes and 40 seconds long, making it the second shortest track in the album besides 1%, which I'll talk about later. All this aside, the track becomes even more upbeat, which is a big plus. What I also adore about this track is the megalophone solo playing in the background after 2D finishes his verse. It really benefits the upbeat tone that the track has and gave me goosebumps for the first listens. It becomes even better and much more epic while it progresses, to the point of the megalophone plays along with 2D singing. In conclusion, despite it all being short, this is one of the better tracks in the album. Not my absolute favorite, but it's up there. So good job, Gorillaz. You really amazed me with this track. 8.5 out of 10. This song reminds me of something, but I just can't think of it. I wonder what it reminds me of. Oh, yeah. This track everyone is trashing about. Remember when people were hating all this track so much? Huh. Good times. Well, seriously, this beat is very similar. Jamie Principle in this is performing similar verses as Sex Murder Party, and then a 2D chorus. Why wasn't this Sex Murder Party? It is obviously an upgrade. If you listen to Sex Murder Party, you kind of already understood how this song goes. But oh, there's a difference. This track features Snoopy Doggity Doogity. Oh joy. Alright, I'll be serious. Despite of that simple beat, I really like 2D's chorus and Snoopy Doggity's dudes rapping. Oh, I forgot Jamie. Well, he was okay. Not a big fan of his singing style, but neither I am a big fan of Snoopy McDoggy style here. Alright, I'll stop. All that aside, the lyrics are one of the best in the album here because of the meaning. It's about being jealous of a person more successful than you, and that fame isn't everything. 2D even says it kills the vibe, which I think means it makes you a worse person. In conclusion, I love the lyrics, the beat, and the meaning behind it. It's another solid track of the album. It's a 7.5 for me. Alright, there's another good one, Kansas. Despite the repetitive lyrics, for me it's quite more enjoyable to listen to than Hollywood. The instrumental is very good and it consists of low-pitched synths in the background which fits very well with the beat. The track sounds so chill, and the fact that the lyrics keep repeating it makes it sound a little hypnotizing. Other than the short bridge in the end, which sounds very good, there's nothing else to add this song other than it has an enjoyable, soothing sound. So it is an 8 out of 10 for me. Oh fuck yes! I can literally dance all day to this song. It's fucking awesome! This is definitely one of my favorites in the album, and it's nearly perfect. The beat, the vocals, the vibes. The lyrics are kind of repetitive, but I'm fine with it, just like Kansas. This would definitely be a great song if it was in the Vice City soundtrack from Grand Theft Auto, but I think most of the new songs would. Anyway, my favorite part of the song is when 2D starts the verse. I don't know what's better, the noticeable reverb that 2D has in his voice, or the synth that follows with 2D singing. Then when that ends, you can hear bongos playing before the chorus. Fucking bongos. Also, don't get me started on the chorus because it's also great. People might not like this because 2D's vocals are not the best for them, but for me, I don't see any problem with 2D's vocals, even though it sounds slightly different than before. So yeah, in conclusion, Gorillaz amazed me again with this track, and it's as good as Tranz in my opinion. This song makes you feel like you are floating in the sky at night, and it just sounds so good in my opinion. This deserves an 8.5.
Idaho, Idaho, there's a beauty on the road.
Any one of you watching this right now notice a trend in this review? Yep, there was not one song that I found bad, or at least decent. You know what other album had no bad songs for me? Yep, Demon Days, and it's my favorite album of all time. I'll talk more about that in the end of the video. So Idaho, you know how much I love when Gorillaz tries to make the music as beautiful as possible? Some songs like El Manana and Hong Kong give the perfect example. And Idaho is probably one of the most beautiful and nostalgic songs I've heard from Gorillaz ever since Plastic Beach was released. It's definitely not as genius as El Manana, but like when I rode my bike around the countryside where I live in and listened to this song, I felt so many emotions while listening to this song. Apparently a lot of people say this song is boring or uninteresting, but boy are they wrong. It starts out with a beautiful guitar play, which covers the whole song while having sounds of nature in the background. It gives out an atmosphere of wilderness and adventure. This track is very unique compared to the other tracks in the album because it's the one that has no 80s vibes and tries to sound like The Fall or Demon Days. I can't say it's underrated because it definitely isn't, but it just doesn't have as much attention like tracks as Fireflies or Souk Eye, which is kind of unfair. The verses are probably the most beautiful sound in the track, and the lyrics on them are one of the best in the album. After the pre-chorus, the chorus hits with beautiful atmospheric reverb that the instruments and vocals receive. Chorus is also pretty great, but nowhere near as emotional beautiful as the verses. Another thing is the high-pitched synth that is appearing in the second verse just makes the song a lot more beautiful than it is. If I had to pick a background song to play while playing Far Cry 5 and traveling around the map, it would probably be this song. Then the outro hits and the music stops, and the only thing you can hear are synths fading down and completely removing the atmospheric vibes that the track has. This can mean that the whole atmosphere was just a simulation by future technology, and today is not like back in the old days. This is definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite track in the album, and probably my top 15 Gorillaz tracks of all time. It's been so long to finally hear a sound from Gorillaz like this, and I'm really glad that they created such a beautiful masterpiece. This definitely deserves a 9 out of 10 for me. Alright, now this is the only song that has no lyrics to it, or at the very least, it's the only one with no 2D singing. Instead we get this one guy who I have no idea who he is, or maybe he's actually 2D, I don't really know. Anyway, this is pretty neat for background music in my opinion. The tune is very catchy, and the kicks are very loud, which I honestly love. And the other drums sound pretty good as well, and I especially really enjoy the glass instrumentation that is happening in the background. Even though I prefer songs with actual lyrics, this is pretty satisfying to listen to. It's another solid track, and it's a 7 out of 10. Magic City, as the name says, is absolutely magical. Let's talk about the lyrics first. Even though there's not much lyrical content to talk about here, the way 2D delivers them is what makes them special. The whole thing has so much David Bowie vibes, which is probably the biggest reason why I love this song. And the instrumentation. The beat is definitely one of the catches in the album, and it sinks in very well with the very mellow 2D vocals. The chorus is definitely the highlight of the track, with the noticeable choirs in the background in the first half, and in the second half of the chorus slightly changes to the sound, giving it a much more calming vibe. That's what I love about it. The chorus doesn't stick to one sound but two. Also, I don't know about you, but the lyric "Look, there's a billboard on the moon" is the most satisfying sound when 2D says it. Anyway, this is definitely my favorite track, along with Idaho, and it deserves a strong 9. Alright, I'll be definitely honest. When I first heard of this song, I wasn't a big fan of it, because it sounded too slow and balladish for my taste, and the instrumentation isn't anything special, at least in the first verse. It definitely becomes better as the song progresses. It's just a simple and slow beat with not much noise in the background, but when the sound progresses, they add extra sounds, which I guess sounds neat. But I have to admit that this track kind of grew on me after a few listens. This is a pretty good song to take your lighter out while at a concert. And I also have to admit, the lyrics are pretty good, it has an actual meaning. The chorus once again is the highlight of the track, along with the part where the instrumental becomes incredible. For me, it's another solid track, it's a 7 out of 10. No matter how much I like this track, I will admit that this track is the most forgettable out of all of them. That doesn't mean that it's bad, it's just not the most catchy and memorable track. For some reason, this is a track that gives me Plastic Beach vibes, because of the track sounds like you are lost under a deep dark ocean inside a submarine. But hey, I think that's just me. This track is also very atmospheric, thanks to the deep instrumentation and 2D's reverb vocals. The delivery of 2D's vocals in this one are amazing, because it fits the lost and melancholy vibe very well. Now, what makes this track forgettable than the others is that it sounds more like a very long interlude rather than a song. The verse doesn't build up to anything, which is not a bad thing, but that's kind of what makes it sound so interlude-ish. This could be a perfect Plastic Beach song, instead of like, sweepstakes. Fucking sweep. Alright, I'm sorry, I just hate this track with a burning passion. Anyway, actually it builds up to something. Kind of. It's not exactly a chorus, but it's definitely gorgeous to listen to. I don't really know what instrument is playing at this part, but it sounds like a reverb piano, and it just makes the song sound a lot more like Plastic Beach. Though whatever this instrument is, gives me goosebumps at every listen. It's that good. And the song as a whole becomes better after the instrumental break. In conclusion, very beautiful and atmospheric song, and it is definitely one of the most underrated gems in the album. It's an 8 out of 10. Alright, the final track. Here we go. I like how all those last songs of the album sound so melancholic and sad, while in the beginning of the album sounds all joy and go-lucky, but I think that was the point. The lyrics in this one are excellent, and 2D's delivery of them is also pretty good. I also really enjoy the guitar watery beat that is jumping up and down to create the beat. I see everyone praising this song, but to be honest, I'll take Idaho and Magic City any day. The chorus is pretty decent, but the verse is miles better when it comes to content and sound. I don't have anything else to say about this song other than its pretty good ending, and probably one of my favorite Gorillaz album endings of all time. It's an 8 out of 10. In conclusion, I didn't hate any of the songs in the album, which is an enormous plus. All the songs here sound good in the album, but they're not like one of the best Gorillaz songs ever made or something. You have to have very chill mood in order to listen to the tracks. The album features some 80s inspired tracks, and I'm very surprised that the whole album isn't an 80s inspired album. Perfect example are tracks like Idaho and 1%. I also like the slow transmission from happy 2D to sad 2D from beginning until end. But if there's one nitpick I can give this album is that it just doesn't feel as colorful as their other albums like Plastic Beach or Demon Days. And you're probably asking,
Hey Zenny, what the fuck do you mean by colorful, you dipstick?
alright dude, listen, chill. Don't pick your pitchfork right now. I'm gonna explain. I mean, for me, Plastic Beach has the calm beach vibe and Demon Days has that edgy and eerie vibe. And what does the Nauna have? 80s vibes? Well, not all the tracks are 80s influences, since there are tracks like Idaho and 1%. Even Self-Titled is more colorful than it since it has that garage and low production vibe to it. This might sound like the most stupidest thing you ever heard, but that's what I feel like, and I have no better way to explain it. So despite of me loving every single track there is, the vibes are not the most consistent. I still wish Gorillaz would come back with the old style one day. I'm not trying to sound like I am some classic Gorillaz fan that only thinks the classics are the best. I think this album is pretty good, but not the best Gorillaz album. One thing I can easily say is that it does surpass Humans in a huge margin. Well, not huge, but it's big enough. I will put this album above D-Sides and Humans and put it as 4th place. So this was my review of the new album, the Now Now. So what did you think of the album? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments. I see you guys next time.